This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
So Anthony Joshua, he spoke to The Sun and he spoke about Tyson Fury, and he insists that that is the fight that he wants. Tyson Fury is the man on his hit list. He wants that last belt and wants to be crowned undisputed. And we go straight into his statement and have a little bit of a chat about it. So this is what Anthony Joshua had to say. Undoubtedly, the fight that I want is Tyson Fury. He is holding something that I want. He's on my hit list. But you never know what you're going to get with Tyson Fury. He's either at the top of the world, conquering the world, or at the bottom of the ocean, and he needs to find a balance. But at the moment, he seems to have found one at home working out with his wife. He says things about me all the time. There was so much back and forth. But Tyson Fury is only relevant the day me and him sign that contract to fight. The day he and I are going to fight is the only time really that I should be talking about Tyson Fury. And I don't really want to be in that position where I'm talking him down. So there you go, Anthony Joshua's statement. So I suppose what he's kind of saying is that as much as Tyson Fury, one day he'll come out, he'll praise Anthony Joshua, say how he's proud of him, he come from nothing and he become a multi-millionaire, a unified heavyweight champion in the world. He's a fellow Brit, of course I'll support him. The next day he'll say he's a big stiff idiot and this, that and the other. Okay, so Fury, you never quite know what you're going to get with him. And I think that's why a lot of people like him in some ways. But in other ways, that's why a lot of people maybe don't like him. For me, I like Joshua and Fury equally. Now, when it comes to them two having a fight, of course, that's a fight that you, I, everybody in the world would want to see. Of course, with or without belts. One day, I don't want to be looking back and saying, oh man, I wish we'd have seen that fight and we didn't. I don't care if the fight happens next or if the fight happens next year. I'm in no rush to see it. I know a lot of you guys are because of the whole undisputed thing, and I get it. Of course I get it. We all want to see it. But of course there are plenty of other fights out there that I want to see as well. I want to see Dillian Whyte, Tyson Fury. I want to see Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. I still want to see that fight. Plus many, many more. But I suppose what he's saying is that at the minute, Tyson Fury is not relevant because he's not fighting him next, as in his mindset. Because he's made this mistake before, didn't he? When he's about to fight Andy Ruiz Jr., okay, he's a last-minute replacement. Well, say last minute, 4 or 5 weeks. There's still kind of enough time in some ways. But he was overlooking him, and his whole plan was to go to America, defeat Andy Ruiz Jr., stop him, put on a spectacular performance, and then in the end, shout out Deontay Wilder in his home country. Call him out. That's what the plan was. So he was overlooking Andy Ruiz Jr., and he got caught with a punch from the gods, as Anthony Joshua would call it. Right in the temple, couldn't recover. And quite how, and I'll be honest, quite how he went another 4 rounds is beyond me. I don't know quite how he done it. And to be honest with you, I suppose if I could criticise any of his team was the fact that they didn't throw in the towel a bit earlier. But hey, it is what it is. So yes, overlooking Andy Ruiz Jr. is what cost him, in my opinion, and he proved it right in the rematch. Now, with him talking about Tyson Fury and how that's the one that he wants and blah, 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 he doesn't want to have that in his head. As much as he really wants that fight, his next fight is Kubrat Pulev. Tyson Fury's next fight is Deontay Wilder. So I suppose them two thinking about and dreaming about what kind of fight they'll have, whether it be at Wembley, whether it be in Saudi, whether it be on the moon, wherever it may be, is a distant thought right now. Right now, you've got to deal with what is in front of you, and Pulev is what's in front of him. So I suppose with, which is a good thing, isn't it? Because what you don't want him doing is overlooking Pulev. People say Pulev is old, Pulev is this, Pulev is slow, this, that, and the other. Well, he's a top 10 rated heavyweight for the longest time for a very good reason. Because he's a dangerous opponent. So you can't overlook him. People put too much emphasis on the age, they really do. But that's a lack of boxing knowledge. As far as I'm concerned, anybody who knows the sport and you follow heavyweight boxing, especially heavyweight boxing, you will know how good Kubrat Pulev is. Don't get me wrong, he's put on some pretty stinkers as well. And yes, he has avoided some big fights. But on the night, he can turn it on. I favour Anthony Joshua heavily. But you never know in heavyweight boxing. So he's absolutely correct. Focus on the task that's in hand. Get through that one. And then start thinking about, well, maybe Tyson Fury for undisputed next. If Tyson Fury gets past Wilder, again, you would heavily favour Tyson Fury to get past Deontay Wilder. But you never know. You never know. Bigger upsets have happened in the past than a Tyson Fury losing to a Wilder or a Anthony Joshua losing to a Pulev. So anyway, that's Anthony Joshua's thoughts. But yes, he wants Tyson Fury. Now, I know some Fury fans will probably look at that and go, so he doesn't really want him. He sees that he's irrelevant, so he's not thinking about him. That means he doesn't really want him. Why is he not making the effort? Just think about it logically, all right? Of course he wants him. It'll probably be his biggest payday ever, even if he wasn't confident, with a guaranteed 2 fights. So both for Fury and Tyson Fury, both for Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, it's going to be the biggest amount of money that these two have ever seen in their entire lives and probably ever will again. So of course they want to make it, win, lose or draw. Of course, they want those 2 fights. Eddie Hearn wants that fight. Bob Arum wants that fight. I don't know if Frank Warren wants that fight. That's the only thing that's kind of making me go, I don't know, because he keeps on talking about how Eddie Hearn doesn't want that fight, Joshua doesn't want that fight, and all these other kind of things that he comes out with as to why the fight can't happen. But anyway, I'm probably wrong. It's a good money-making move for Frank Warren. Not that he's really involved too much in it. I think it's more about a Eddie Hearn and Freddie Cunningham on Joshua's side, plus a MTK Global and Bob Arum on Tyson Fury's side. But anyway, we'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it. First things first, these two have got to get past their next opponent. Then after that, who knows what's going to happen? Maybe we're going to see Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte, and I don't think too many people will complain about that fight. I certainly wouldn't. Then maybe the winner will go fight Anthony Joshua. But again, if that happens and Joshua gets past Pulev, he's going to have to fight Alexander Usyk if Usyk gets past Derek Chisora. So either way, I think boxing fans, we're in for some pretty good, interesting fight nights going forward. So anyway, that's Anthony Joshua's statement. You drop me your thoughts below. Click a thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.